practitioner in India for the last 12 years, Saskia has been exploring new dimensions of this art form by marrying her love for the Western cello with a deep understanding of Indian classical music.
My very first lesson in Indian music, my teacher was sitting on the floor and I was sitting on a chair. And this equation, of course, didn't feel right at all. So the very first adjustment I made into the cello itself was finding a way to sit with this big instrument on the floor. And this was very important to me to, I think, enter the culture of music. The cello is a very heavy instrument to play. The lower strings are about this thick, about this high above the fingerboard, and you have to press it down. Now in Indian embellishments and playing, at the same time you have to move your fingers up and down. So what would happen with this bigger instrument is that the strings literally became boiling hot. And yeah, it was really, really heavy. So one way I had to find is make it a little lighter and possible to play these gamakas and embellishments. So it became a little smaller, this size. Then what I always enjoyed in Indian classical instruments like the sarangi or sitar or surbahar is the resonating strings, where one instrument becomes a full orchestra, and with all these different layers of sound and overtones, it's just beautiful. And I also saw that would be beautiful on a cello, with these deep sonorous sounds and then kind of twinkling of resonating strings with it. So you also get this kind of piercing beauty, which is also a part of Indian music.
The process of not just traveling to, but of becoming part of another tradition, of another geography, has informed these expatriates not only as artists, but also as professionals in their respective art forms and their geocultural identity. Both Sharon Lowen and Justin McCarthy came to India from America. Both today are exponents of a traditional Indian dance form. While Sharon is a scholar, teacher and internationally renowned Odissi dancer, Justin's encounter with India began when he first learned Bharatanatyam in California. Scholar, teacher and internationally renowned Odissi exponent, Sharon Lowen first arrived in India in 1973. Sharon's relentless commitment to the art form has been enriched by her experience of becoming an artist professional in India, as well as her engagement with her own spiritual tradition.
Actually, it was after 15 years of being here most of the time. Really, it was when my daughter, who was born here, was school age, and I had to make a decision. So I felt that it was better to be here and have the opportunity to have the musicians to work with, the special occasions and opportunities to be able to do choreography. So that's when I really decided that I would, if not stay forever, but stay as long as I felt welcome and was doing something productive. And I'm happy to say I'm still here. For me, there wasn't any cutthroat competition because, first of all, I was unaware of it. Second, I was a student. And third, as someone coming from outside the tradition, there is no entitlement and there is no avenues that are there for those that compete. So I came here, I loved learning dance, and it just happened that some people who saw my dance invited me to perform.
Just in terms of living in India every day, I must say I do have a certain nostalgia for the way India was when I came, a sort of pseudo-socialist country where consumer goods were not very apparent. A city like Delhi was amazing. It was wide, open, empty streets with only two types of cars. I myself was on a bicycle at that point. And where television only had Chitrahar once a week and Krishi Darshan, where they'd show close-ups of aloo and gajar and all, and plus the news. So that was great. I loved that. It was so different from the Western consumer-oriented society that I had come from. Now, of course, it's a different story.
Because I always understood that there really wasn't, that whereas others have to like knock on the door or bang on the door, for me there was no door. And it's sort of like when my head was through a wall, I looked back and realized, oh my goodness, here I am. How did I get here? There wasn't any opening.
Because of the incredible number of Indians who have gone to America, who continue to go and continue to come back, India has become actually quite astonishingly close to America, culturally. America doesn't seem so far away anymore. In one way it's nice because I come from there and my family is there, so I don't feel quite as isolated from them. But in another way, some of the aspects of America which I may not have liked or which maybe I was fleeing when I came here have all come here.
I went to see every performance, but I didn't know other dancers for many years, and I don't think I even knew who the critics were for maybe, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 years. And I still don't know who the patrons are.